thought the future would be flying cars, but it's actually financing a burrito in 4 payments. Thanks to buy now, pay later programs like Affirm, Klarna, and Afterpay, it's easier than ever to buy whatever you want. You'll see these payment options on almost every website, app, and even in stores. They let you buy what you want today and pay for it later in smaller payments. Let's say you want to buy a phone that costs $1,000. Buy now, pay later lets you split it into 4 interest-free payments of $250. So you get the phone today and pay it off later. Sounds amazing, right? The only problem is that those 4 easy payments are a sneaky trap. It makes your brain think that you're spending less, even though you'll spend the same amount in the end. So you end up buying more stuff more often, even things you wouldn't normally buy if you had to pay the full price up front. The crazy part is that a lot of people are falling for this trap and getting into crazy amounts of debt they can't get out of.
I have spent $32,196.23 on Affirm and Klarna since 2022.
But that's not even the worst part. Some people get sent to collections, their credit scores drop, and they end up paying way more than they borrowed. Worst of all, they're getting into a habit of buying things they don't really need just because they can buy it now and pay for it later. Now, buy now, pay later might seem like a brilliant new idea, but it's really just a modern version of something our parents or grandparents used back in the day called layaway. Back then, if you wanted to buy something, you could put down a small deposit and the store would hold the item for you. You would then make small payments over time, and once it was fully paid off, you can take it home. No interest, no debt, just old school patience. Then credit cards came along and changed everything. People didn't have to wait anymore. They could just use their credit card, get the item today, and pay for it later. But the problem with credit cards is that if you don't pay off your balance in full, you get charged interest. So you end up paying way more than what the thing actually cost. So someone mixed the 2 ideas and came up with buy now, pay later. You get the item right away like with a credit card, but you pay for it over time like with layaway. The thing people love the most about this was how easy it was to get approved even if you had bad credit. So a lot of people started to use it. Then the pandemic hit, everyone was stuck at home and shopping online more than ever, and that's when BNPL really took off. But this growth also led to problems, big problems. Instead of using BNPL to buy big, important things like a couch or a computer, people are now using it for almost everything. Clothes, TVs, concerts, groceries, gas, and even fast food. We're literally out here financing burritos and no one's stopping us. In fact, 16% of BNPL users say that they've used the service for food delivery or takeout, and about 42% use it for clothes and fashion. So the next time you see somebody wearing designer stuff, chances are they're paying for it with Klarna. But one of the craziest things I recently saw is that about 60% of people who bought Coachella tickets this year used BNPL to pay for them. And they didn't stop there. They used it for food, drinks, and other things at the event too. Can you imagine the look on their faces when they saw how much they actually ended up spending? I hope they're okay because wow. So as you can see, this is getting out of control and is doing more harm than good. People seriously need to wake up and understand that these companies aren't here to help you. They're hoping you mess up so they can make money from your mistakes. Now you're probably thinking, but Diana, if they're not charging interest, how can they be taking advantage of me? Well, that's what they want you to think. They make it seem like you can buy anything now and pay for it later with no extra costs or problems. But the truth is that you'll end up paying way more if you're not careful. For example, if you don't pay on time, they'll charge you late fees. These fees are usually between $2 and $15, but sometimes they can be as high as 25% of the purchase price. It might seem small, but if you keep missing payments, it adds up fast. In fact, that's how companies like Affirm and Klarna make a lot of their money, because 1 out of every 3 people who use BNPL miss at least 1 payment. And if you miss multiple payments, they can lock your account, send you to collections, and mess up your credit score. Plus, since the payments are spread out over time, it's easy to lose track of what you owe. 1 burrito here, 1 hoodie there, a concert ticket, a few Uber rides. Suddenly you're trying to keep up with 8 different payments, drowning in debt, and wondering where all your money went. In fact, in 2022, about 63% of BNPL users had more than 1 loan at the same time. And what's crazy is that a lot of people think that all BNPL plans are interest-free, but that's not true. The short ones where you split the total into 4 payments usually don't charge interest, but the longer plans, which can last from 6 to 24 months, usually have interest rates as high as credit cards. So yeah, BNPL might feel good today, but it can lead to more debt and stress later. It's not really buy now, pay later. It's actually more like buy now, worry later. The worst part is the people getting hurt the most are the ones who don't really know better and can't afford it. They think it's a smart way to shop, but they're actually the ones who end up getting hurt by late fees, penalties, and crazy high interest rates. Sadly, about half of Americans today are financially illiterate. They don't really understand how credit and loans work, and these companies know that. A lot of BNPL users are also young, between 18 and 24 years old. Many don't have credit cards or good credit, and they live in places with fewer banks, more poverty, and less financial education. So these companies are essentially letting people borrow a lot of money, knowing that it's a matter of time before they mess up. And when they do, these companies make a ton of money. It's crazy to think that a young person usually can get a loan for a house, a car, or a business, but they can easily get approved for a bunch of BNPL loans to buy stuff they don't really need, like designer shoes, to then spend months or even years paying it off. It makes no sense. This is criminal. But to these companies, it does. They know that when you mix not knowing how loans work with easy, fast credit, debt is almost guaranteed. Add in how expensive everything is today and how many people live paycheck to paycheck, and BNPL loans start to feel like a fast and easy way to get by. But it's really just a recipe for disaster. Now, to be fair, BNPL isn't all bad. It could be helpful if you're smart and you know how to use it right. But, and this is a big but, you have to be disciplined. Most people aren't, and these companies know that. People usually only think about the price they'll pay today, and that's exactly how you get in trouble. So if you're going to use BNPL, here's the same advice I give to my credit card audience. Only spend what you can pay back in full the same day. For example, if you want to buy a $500 TV and pay for it little by little, make sure you have those $500 in your bank account. That way you can pay on time and avoid fees or penalties. This lets you truly enjoy that 0% interest without any extra costs, debt, or worries. Also, try to only use BNPL for important purchases. Don't get in debt for things like Chipotle, fancy shoes, or Taylor Swift concert tickets. Lastly, know exactly when your payments are due, set reminders, and only use BNPL if you know you can pay it off on time and without problems. Whether it's a credit card or BNPL, use them wisely or don't use them at all. So there you have it, the truth about buy now, worry later. If this video helped you in any way, share it with someone who needs to hear this so that they don't fall into the BNPL trap. And if you want to learn how to make your money grow instead of just spending it, check out this next video where I show you one of the best places to put your money so that it grows over time and earns you passive income without you doing anything. Thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.